Alright, hello my lovelies, welcome to my channel. My name is Kani Siwe and this is Simply Siwe. Um, I definitely had a different video scheduled for this week, but because of the interest that I saw in transcribing or being a transcriptionist, I thought let me rather put this out first so that whoever needs to act out on this information can do so as soon as possible. So don't be alarmed. I've got my great companion over here, a glass of red, because talking does get you quite parched, and I feel like water is a little bit overrated at times. But anyways, so if you're my sister, if my older sister is watching this, sissy, it's a Friday. It's a Friday. Okay. Anyways, right, let's get things started. So by the way, if this is your first time coming across my channel and you see this video, just to brief you and to let you know, disclaimer up front, this is not what this channel is about. This is a an anomaly for me. I'm really just putting out this information because I do think it can help a lot of people, but you won't see similar videos in my channel, at least not at this point. If you want to know what my channel is about, you can click all the other videos and see. And yeah, just thought I'd put it out there. Anyway, so what we're talking about today is being a transcriptionist, or being a transcriber, if you will. And you may ask, what is that? What is a transcriber? A transcriber is someone who listens to audio and will type out whatever it is that they hear on the audio. Sometimes it could be a video, but there's a specific term for it when it's a video, and that is called a captionist. But in most cases, if it's audio, then you are simply being a transcriptionist, or you are transcribing. You're being a transcriber. Now, by the way, maybe if I look to the side and I'm not looking directly at you, I'm not being rude. I'm really just looking at my pointers so that I cover everything that I planned to in this video. So yeah. Oh, the first question that I had down is, what is a transcriber? I think I've answered that. And who can be a transcriber? Any person can be a transcriber, really. But like I said in my previous video, when I touched briefly on it, you have to have certain skills in order to excel, or to thrive at being a transcriber. And those skills are, you have to have good grammar. You have to it's not even to say that you have to be like a person who knows perfect English, because most of the time you really are listening to real life conversations that are happening, and people might not use the best grammatically correct terms, or say the perfect English. So you don't also need to be a perfect English speaker, but you do have to have some a good sound knowledge or grasp of the language. Because for instance, if someone says they're going to get those things over there, you have to know the difference in the theirs that I use. Also, I did mention that you have to be kind of good at typing speed, or faster typing. This is because being a transcriptionist, actually, for a small audio file, it can really take you a long time to transcribe and fully type down everything, because obviously the mouth is faster than the hands in any case. No matter how good you are at typing, the mouth is going to talk a lot faster pace, and you can get more words out when you're talking than you do when you're typing. So imagine now having to take what is being said and having to type it down. That's really it's a no-brainer that it's going to take you a bit longer. So, and I made an example last week, and I said that a 15-minute audio can take you anything from an hour to 2 hours to fully transcribe. 30 minutes of audio can take you anything between 3 hours or 4 hours. And this is just, I'm talking from being a person who's a newbie. I haven't been doing this for that long, so I'm not that experienced at it. Maybe if I was doing it for longer, I would be talking about shorter times. But at the current moment, this is what I do personally. So that's why I'm just talking based on my experience. Oh, okay, so we've talked about you have to get good grammar, good typing speed, and also listening. You know how they say listening is a skill? Well, it definitely is a skill that you have to employ if you want to be a transcriptionist, because Sometimes there could be a lot happening in the background. People are in a busy restaurant, people are, you know, in a windy area, and there's a lot of, you know, background music or background noise, and people are talking, and you really have to tune into what they're saying and make sure that you capture as much as possible. So that's why you have to have good listening skills in order to be a transcriptionist. So those are the three that I can think of: good grammar, typing speed, and a good ear. And yeah, there's no cheating the system, guys. You can't you know, cheat. And the thing is, the reason I'm saying this specifically is because I've seen so many YouTube videos where people are teaching you how to you know, to cheat the entrance test, but really it doesn't really help if you're going to cheat the entrance test and become a rever or become a transcriptionist, and then you actually have to work on the files, and then it just turns out that you're not good at this job. Then what's going to happen? Then you're still going to get kicked out. So guys, there's no chasing it. I'm sorry, don't. I've seen so many videos, and there's this one video I was like, did you even pass? Because he was teaching people how to pass the rev entrance test, but his file had so many inaccuracies, and I was like, did you even pass the entrance? How are you teaching people? So that was definitely clickbait. And that's why on this video I'm not even going to tell you this is what you look out for, this is what you need to do, because first of all, maintaining confidentiality. I can't talk about what the actual files that I work on, you know, that's a very big thing with Rev. They even make you sign a waiver. You have to be maintain confidentiality in your work. But also, you can't, there's certain things you can't teach people, like that's like saying if you're not good at maths and now you want to be an actuarial scientist. I mean, that's an extreme, but no one is going to teach you that, and trying to, like, you know, fake your way through an entrance or an entry level or criteria. You can't fake it, guys. It's either you're good at it or you're not. And unfortunately, and there's some skills that are very, like, you just inherently have to have them in order to succeed at certain things. And I know, like, I mean, that's a bit of an extremist, but I mean, it's not like, you know, you're doing brain surgery or anything, but you kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say. You can't fake it. It's either you have the certain skills or you don't. And if you don't, that's fine. There are other ways to make money on the internet. But if you want to be a transcriber, then those certain 3 skills you have to have. There's nothing that can be done about it. Yeah. I just wanted to get that piece out because I've seen so many YouTube videos. They're like, this is how you pass the test. Well, where is that person going to be when you actually have to work on the files? Anyways. So there's a lot of transcription companies out there who hire, and I think, if I stand under correction, but I think all of them that are out there hiring people are US based companies that do hire anybody from anywhere all over the world. You know, but the one that I know is very popular and it's very reputable, the one that I transcribe for, is Revcom. And as I'm talking, I'll like maybe put a link down below in this video somewhere, or even in the description box, so you can check them out. So some of the companies that I can name is Transcribing, and I really forgot all the other companies that are out there, but Transcribing and as well as Rev, the one that I'm with. And I don't know how it works for all the other ones, but I'll talk about my experience with Rev and how I got to, you know, be a transcriber for Rev. How did I come across this? Which is actually a funny story, because this is not, I don't feel like that this is information that's very readily available out there. I came across it by chance. You know, when people do these threads on social media, they're talking about side hustles and how you can get yourself. So I definitely saw one of those threads, and someone was talking about transcriptioning, or being a transcriber. And I went through the thread, and because when I do come across such information, I'm a naturally curious person. I went into Googled the companies, and voila, that's how I got information. And I happened to come across the Rev website, and I logged in, and as they say, the rest is history. But we will get into some of that history in this video. Yeah. So how did I manage to become a transcriptionist with Rev? As I said, I came across their website, got onto it, and I decided to create a user profile. And it's very simple. Like it's very simple. You just log in and you can either say you want to be a transcriber or you want to be a captionist. A captionist is a person who does essentially the same job as a transcriber, but this time for video. So you can apply for a transcriptionist, and you can also apply for being a captionist. Those are separate things that are offered by Rev that you can apply for simultaneously, because they're mutually exclusive of each other. So if you get rejected for one, it does not mean you will get rejected for both. You might actually be lucky with becoming a captionist for a video, or you might actually be lucky for being a transcriber. But the entrance test for transcriptionist is very strict. Rev is a very strict company. They like to keep a very high standard for their clients, so they don't just hire anyone, and the entrance level of the very stringent entry requirements. But they do certainly help you, because they offer you a style guide, they offer you practice test, and they offer you all these things to try and make it easy. Well, not practice test, no, I'm lying, not practice test, but they definitely give you style guides, and they give you all the different scenarios. They try to equip you with as much knowledge as possible before you even take the entrance test. What the entrance test looks like, it's essentially a mock audio. It's not really a mock audio, it's an actual audio that they give you, and they will give you a rough draft that is computer generated. What you're supposed to do then is just to fix it up, allocate the correct speakers, fix up any punctuation, remove commas where they're not supposed to do, put full stops or exclamation marks where they need to be, such things. That's just an example of what you would be expected to do. And you submit the test, and also they test your grammar as well, with some sentences where you have to fix the punctuation and everything on top of the audio file that they give you. And then what else? So they'll definitely respond to you within a week after you've submitted your file to say whether you've been successful or not. And if you're not successful, then you have to wait a period of 4 months, I think, before you can apply again. They do notify you of this as you are going through the recruitment process. So yeah, 4 months, and then you can try your luck again. Like I said, Rev is very strict, so a lot of people have been rejected, but you really just, the difference is really paying attention to the style guide and seeing what it is that they expect from you, and follow their examples and their advice, and that's how you're going to be successful, I think. The other thing, let me see. So now, once you get accepted by Rev, you can log into the Rev website and find jobs. As a first-time transcriber, you definitely will be expected to complete a certain number of tasks in order to be accepted, to be removed from rookie to a Rever, a person who's a transcriber. So a rookie is a startup transcriber, and then a Rever is just a regular Rever, and then the next level would be a Rever Plus, which I think is like the creme de la creme, or the elite of the transcriptionist. People who've been doing it for a long time, who have had very high scores in their metrics, and who have put in the number of hours that is required to meet the minimum requirement to become a Rever Plus. So you move from being a rookie to a Rever, and right now I'm at the Rever level. I haven't gotten to Rever Plus. I don't know if I ever will, because quite frankly it does require a lot. But anyway, so you log on to Rev, you click on find jobs, and immediately a lot of files will pop out. There'll be 10-minute files, there'll be 15-minute files, there'll be 30-minute audio files that you can transcribe, and all the rates are listed there for all the files that are available. They give you as much information. They'll tell you when they expect the file to be submitted. They'll tell you what you will get paid for the job, and you get the audio. You have the option of previewing the audio before you decide to claim the file. But now this is where it gets tricky. Whenever they submit jobs on the Reva Find Work tab, a lot of people are online and it's a competition on who gets that file first. Now what a lot of people do is that they will claim a file before they even preview the audio, so they don't know whether this is good audio, this is something that they can transcribe, it's not a heavy accent, foreign accent. They just, just to beat the queue, they will claim the file, and then because you've got a grace period, so ordinarily the grace period for unclaiming a file after you've claimed it is an hour. So that means within that hour you can decide whether you want to continue to work on the file or not. If you don't want to work on the file, then you can just simply unclaim it, give you a reason and unclaim it, and there won't be any penalties associated with that. But if you pass the window period or the grace period of unclaiming a file, then you really have to see it through. And if you don't submit the file, or if you unclaim it after that time, then that's when you will get penalized. And this really does count against you, because as I said, Rev is very strict and they've got very stringent requirements. Even when you've made it as a transcriptionist, you don't rest on your laurels. They still expect you to maintain a very high level of commitment to jobs, very high standard of transcribing, all that jazz. So yeah. And then what's the other thing? Okay, so we've talked about the competition with claiming files and everything, and people being ready to claim files as fast as they can, and you might miss out on certain files because you're still trying to preview it while someone else is claiming it on the other side of the world. So that's a reality that happens. And I've also mentioned the fact that there's a grace period, so within that hour after you've claimed that file, you feel like you can't, for whatever reason, you can't work on that file, difficult audio, difficult accents, whatever the case might be, then you have a window period with which you can unclaim it, which is an hour. I've spoken about that. If you don't, now let me talk about the consequences if your matrix fall below Reva standards. So if you don't commit to a file, that means you unclaim it after the window period has elapsed, you get penalized. If you are not accurate with your transcription, you get penalized. If your transcription is not accurate, that means you miss out some audio that you don't include, or you don't put commas when you need to do, or whether it's a punctuation or just you're not accurately transcribing what is being said, you get penalized. Okay, now we get to the issue of rates. So rates for Rev can range between anything from $5 to at least at my level, and I've said there are 3 levels. So you've got rookie, you've got Reva, and you've got Reva plus. So at my level, which is a Reva, is you can get anything between from $5 to $30, per audio file. Now obviously it stands to reason that the shorter files, like your 5-minute files, your 10-minute files, those will not bring in as much. So you'll start with your $5, $8, and then the longer the audio, sometimes you can get higher depending on the client, and if maybe the difficulty of the audio, then they'll pay you higher to do it. So the highest rate that I've had is for a 30-minute audio, and I got $28 for it. So you do the exchange rate, but 28 US dollars to South African rands is around less than 400 rand, around 400 rand, 410 rand, somewhere there. I don't know, the spot rate changes every day, so I don't really know, but it's somewhere thereabout. So that's 400 rand that you would get for 4 hours. So that means averaging a rate of 100 rand per hour. So is this great money? It's decent money. But as a person like me who works a full-time job, working from home, sitting behind the computer for my daily job, and then afterwards having to transcribe for a further 4 hours or for a further 2 hours, sometimes it gets quite a lot. And I admit I don't transcribe as when I got this job, I thought I would do it every day. I would commit to doing it every day, because then that would mean I would have money in my bank account. But the reality is that I couldn't keep up. I couldn't. Sometimes it gets draining, like looking at the computer screen without moving, for 4 hours after you've put in a full day's work with your regular job. Anyone can tell you it gets too much. So I definitely have not been as active on it as I would like to. But like I said, if you're a student and you've got a couple of hours to spare in a day, this is certainly a way that you can earn yourself some extra money. Yeah, and then we've talked about rates. Now let's talk about how you get paid. So every Monday you get paid whatever you worked for in that previous week, up to a Sunday. If you decided to work on a Sunday, all that money will get paid into your PayPal account on the following Monday. You have to create a PayPal account and link it to your Rev. That's the only way they pay you. They pay you through PayPal. Now, as a South African, these are the things you have to note, or you have to keep in mind about having a PayPal account and actually extracting or withdrawing your funds from your PayPal account into your actual account. PayPal in South Africa only works through FNB. No other bank account through FNB. Does that mean that you won't get your money unless you create an FNB account? No, that's not what it means. I'm a Standard Bank client, but I still get paid into my account. But what you have to do is that you have to log on to FNB online. So what you will do is that you will go into FNB online site, create a user profile. After that, you will have to submit your documents for FICA verification to PayPal services at FNB. If anyone needs that information, I'll definitely put it in my description box, the email accounts that you use to forward your documents to be verified by FNB. What they will do is then, obviously the documents is your certified ID and your bank statement from whatever bank that you're going to be using. Submit to FNB, and then within 3 days they should get back to you with a full verification. They might not get back to you, so you just check in with them. Once that is done, then now you can log on to your FNB profile, go to PayPal services, link whatever bank account that you use. If it's an net bank, or is in my case it's a Standard Bank, then you just go to PayPal services, link your bank account to that. Is not an FNB account, and you can still link it. And then what happens now is that you can transfer funds from your PayPal account to your FNB account, not really an account, but your profile that's on FNB online. And then you can log on to FNB and transfer it to your actual non-FNB account. That whole process will take you about 3 to 8 working days. So the first time I withdrew funds from my Rev it took me, how long did it take me? I withdrew on a Monday, and I got the funds the following Monday. Obviously that had to do with the fact that I still had to go through the whole FICA verification with FNB and all that. But otherwise, on a normal basis, it should take really less than a week. And then the other thing that's worth mentioning is that you can claim as many files as you want in a day, depending on how much time you want to put in. So if you've claimed a 30-minute audio file, which took you 3 hours to fully transcribe and submitted that, then you can go ahead and claim another one. Claim as many as you want, as long as there's work available on the Find Work page. No one is going to say anything about that. But also keep in mind that after each and every file that you submit, there's going to be a grading on that file. So you'll get graded on accuracy and what? There are 2 things that you get graded on: accuracy and I forgot, guys. Maybe it's this one, I don't know. But anyways, I'll put that down here. I'll write it here. Those are the 2 things that you get graded out of 5, and they want you to maintain a perfect score of 5. If not, then at least 4.5 out of 5. So they'll do that for each and every job, and then after 5 jobs have been completed, then they average all your total scores and they give you a matrix for that period, and they will tell you if your average is below their Rev standards. Their Rev standards is very high. You have to get 4.5 out of 5 each and everything. If you don't, they will tell you, they'll give you a warning. Now this is worth a mention. Tax. SARS. SARS, SARS, SARS. So as a freelancer, you have to be on top of your tax matters. Now, if you're going to be doing this and going hard at it and earning certain amounts, then you have to know that SARS is going to be looking at you like, hey bruh, was our cut? So just worth a mention, you know, look into it, look at how you have to disclose with the SARS and everything and all the tax implications. You might not be liable to pay tax depending on how much you pull in, but it's worth noting that pay your taxes, children, pay your taxes. Also, I think I touched on this earlier on, but it warrants me repeating it again. Confidentiality is the order of the day. You can't talk about the files. You really do. I mean, it's like being a fly on the wall. Literally, it really feels like being a fly on the wall and listening into people's private conversations, you know? So not everything is going to be scandalous and very controversial, but there is a certain level of confidentiality that, well, it's not even a certain level. There is just confidentiality is a prerequisite. That's it. You know, you can't talk about what you hear because then you are betraying the trust of the clients and even the Rev as a company. So yeah. Alright, that's it. I think I've covered everything that I needed to for this video, and if there's anything I missed, then you are welcome to ask me those questions specifically and I'll answer to the best of my ability. And do share this video with anyone who might need to hear it. You never know, you might be saving a life. This might be the difference between someone meeting their next debit orders. You know, you never know. Don't say I don't look out for you guys. Don't say I don't look out for you guys. Give me all the information that you need. Give you all this information that you need to say, this auntie loves you. This is definitely red talking something. I don't know what's happening. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I love you so much for that. And can we get to 1,000 before the end of 2020? I don't know. Is that being too ambitious? I don't know. Can we please, you know, make this auntie happy? Let's subscribe. We do all sorts of fun things here on this channel. We do deco hauls, we'll do skincare, we do vlogs. We're a happy bunch. Join us. Let's become a family, guys. Let's become a family. But anyway, this is it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. I love you so much. Love and light.